everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, November 2-3, 2024, loft 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Wherever you look, if your eyes are open, you'll see the divine. Alan Watts. Some of us have you ever questioned the nature of reality? Perhaps you felt in a quiet moment that there is something more than what meets the eye. A hidden truth beneath the surface of your life. Now, we've been doing this for a very long time, throughout the ages. It's both ancient and profound, and has captivated philosophers, sages, and scientists alike for centuries. And centuries and centuries. Recently, the inquiry of whether we are living in a simulation has fascinated and intrigued countless minds, especially in this era of advanced AI, rapidly evolving technology. To truly delve into this profound inquiry, let's first explore the current definition of the term simulation. A simulation is a highly realistic imitation of reality. Right? A simulation is a highly realistic imitation of reality. Think of a virtual reality game where everything feels real but is coded to mimic life. Now imagine this idea expanded after 1 billion or so years of technological growth. Is it possible that the world we experience could be a grand simulation crafted by an intelligence far beyond our understanding? Now, tweaking this, as you've heard me share, is that since just about all of us don't know who and what we are, so we look at ourselves from the physical material. You have a life, you experience life, and then you leave the body, right? Very simple. But see, since we have not discovered our true existence, which is the pure consciousness, the cosmic energy source, so we look beyond ourselves and say that something created this, right? I mean, we've all done that off and on. Something created this. Well, when you go to collective consciousness, pure consciousness, and you comprehend that all life forms are part of that pure consciousness. All life forms. So, doesn't it make sense that some of those life forms and the gods within them, or the pure consciousness within them, are aware of who and what they are? And we talk that on this planet that we're creators. We create. We're manifesting machines, right? So doesn't it make sense that in a way, the collective consciousness may have created this virtual reality, this grand simulation? And as some of those on this planet believe, that it's crafted by an intelligence far beyond our understanding. Well, what's far beyond our understanding is the gods that we are in these bodies. That's far beyond our comprehension. Our environment is made up of reality that looks and feels real, but is actually programmed by an unseen code. Right? For example, video games create vast interactive worlds that follow certain rules like gravity or character behavior to make them seem believable in the same way. Excuse me. Some people suggest that our physical world might be a kind of simulation, a carefully designed system created by something far beyond our current understanding or comprehension. The simulation is like a movie where individual still frames are shown so quickly that they create the illusion of continuous motion. It feels very solid, permanent, and real. But ultimately, it's a false reality built on an ever-changing underlying process. And we always go back to the movie that the Wachowski brothers did, The Matrix. Everyone thought they were living in the real world, yet we're actually living inside a very large, complex computer program. Yet, the question remains, how do we know we are not living in a simulation? And is there a way to be 100% certain what is real and what is not real? Now, you go back to the A Course in Miracles, right? You've heard me make this statement many times, quote, "Nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God." As this is such a deep and complex mystery to unfold, we'll need to first roll the clock back, take a deeper look at what his past has to say. Less than 500 years ago, many philosophers referred to this world as an illusion or dream, while Christianity described it as the flesh or the veil. Over 2,000 years ago, Hindu sages offered a profound spiritual perspective and called this reality Maya, the grand illusion that veils the truth of existence. In modern times, we experience life often through a screen filtered by the lens of technology. This screen operates much like our mind, a filter that seems to allow us to see greater reality, yet is limited in its capacity and separates us from its deeper truth. The images we see on the screen are like a dream, a temporary construct that hides the essence of what truly is. Our world today is seeing the fabric of reality through this technological lens, reshaping how we define and perceive our experience of existence. So the term simulation has gained great popularity as a way to describe the nature of our reality. Now, it's possible it not only reflects the technological times we live in, but this concept carries a depth far beyond our current comprehension. The simulation concept might be more than just a semantic shift in our language. When you peer through the quantum realm, every atom and cell is our body, and the entire world is part of a highly advanced, massive bio-cybernetic program. The physical world we perceive is a visual construct operating on a DNA-encoded biological platform to form our shared reality. This perspective may sound a bit heady and overly technological, but the underlying purpose remains unchanged. Our awakening is based on exploring the truth of our existence and understanding our power and place within it. If we are living in a simulation, what can we do to break free from it and liberate ourselves from all suffering? Regardless of all of this technological terminology, one truth remains constant. This world is a realm of impermanence and continuous change. It has an extraordinary ability to obscure the boundless, unchanging nature of the spiritual reality, making the infinite appear infinite and binding consciousness to the material plane through desires, attachments, and the duality of opposites. Whether we view the world as a simulation or a sacred design, the divine remains present, woven into the fabric of everything we perceive. The suffering we experience arises out of our programming. We have a deep unconscious belief in the mind that says we are imprisoned in this world of limitations. Now, there is this generational assumption that we are limited, imprisoned beings who think freedom is not our inherent nature. This belief is responsible for creating all of the prisons we are living in. Our unconscious attachment to this belief is the root of all experiences of powerlessness, helplessness, or the inability to escape from our karma and suffering. The fastest track to freedom is always diving deeper within by taking more responsibility for the illusions that we are creating. We regain our power to end suffering when we forget we are the source of pure, unbounded, infinite consciousness itself. We stop recognizing how we are the absolute creators of our reality. When we realize this truth, we will not spend our entire lives lighting or fighting to be free from the matrix, breaking out of the simulation, and attempting to liberate our minds from Maya. We will realize that true freedom is a spiritual state of pure consciousness and being untouched and unbound by the limitations of the mind. And as a quote from Ramana Maharishi, you are the self. You are already that. The only obstacle is the ignorance of your blissful state. Now, the source of suffering originates from the real original sin, which is a deep misunderstanding that we are separate from divinity. Meditate on the divinity within you and in all beings. Feel the sacred, undefinable source is within everything, and merge with this as the reality. This is the fastest path to freedom. Otherwise, you can spend decades or even lifetimes searching for freedom. Now, remembering the truth is powerful, yet it can feel like trying to catch water with your hands. It slips right through. And you find yourself grasping for more truth. When you awaken, you gain clarity on what is real and what is illusion. The simulation becomes like putty. Something you can mold into whatever you desire because you realize it is all in your mind. The part of you that believes you are battling external challenges is actually experiencing a battlefield within your own mind. Its existence may seem real, and you might try to prove that power lies outside of you, but the truth is your suffering is caused only by your resistance. Attachment to your thoughts is what binds you to suffering. When you release your attachment to the stories and beliefs about your problems, what happens to those problems? Just notice Where did they go? There is no reaching the self. It cannot be reached because it is already ever present. If the self were to be reached, it would mean it is not here and now, but something to be attained anew from Maharishi. So what is the real world? What is the real world? The real world is not the ever-changing, impermanent physical realm we experience through our senses. It is the spiritual world, the realm of pure consciousness, where thoughts arise and all things are born. This is the true essence of reality, unbound by time and space, and untouched by the limitations of the material world. The false world is the one in constant flux, and is the simulation we believe is real. It is a projection of our minds that hides the deeper truth, which is not spiritual reality itself, but merely a reflection of it. When our eyes are clear, we realize that there is no separation between the spiritual realm and the simulation. They are together working as one absolute reality. Realizing this deeper truth, we can live life without fear, see beyond the illusion of our suffering, and can connect with the eternal, unchanging consciousness that underlies all. The escape from the matrix requires devotion to the truth, love for all beings, and living a life of simplicity and balance where the mind can rest in pure stillness and silence. Here, the real reality is that it expands our depth of connection to the sacred stillness we find in nature, where we truly feel nurtured. This means not prioritizing instant gratification, shallow interactions, and curated experiences over the internet, and choosing deeper, authentic connections with real human beings. You've heard me talk about the fact that our smartphones, our computers, our iPads, all of this stuff, you know, everybody looking down at their phones and their face lit up with the blue light, instead of real connections, authentic connections with real human beings. While technology can enhance our lives, we must be careful not to let it control us. This is where I talk about manual. We must maintain our manualism, which means we do things for ourselves without the technology. By stepping away from our screens and reconnecting with nature, others, and our inner stillness, we open ourselves to the depth of spiritual expansion that is liberated from digital distractions. We then enter the real world, which is a world of consciousness, beyond the illusion. It is here, in the timeless space of pure awareness, that we discover the truth. Letting go of the simulation, we reconnect with the profound beauty of existence and the essence of who we truly are. So when we speak of a simulation, we're acknowledging the impermanence of the physical world, which stands in contrast to the enduring, boundless nature of the spiritual realm. Our task is not to get lost in the illusion, but to recognize the deeper truth, where the timeless reality of consciousness lies. Ignorance draws a veil over the pure bliss of the self. All efforts are directed only at removing this veil of ignorance from Maharishi. Now, as a result, we risk losing touch with the richness of direct human connection, the wisdom of nature, and the stillness within ourselves. While technology provides powerful tools for growth and connection, we must choose to remain mindful of its influence, ensuring it serves us rather than controls us. The true balance lies in using technology to expand our awareness, not to replace the depth of real-life experiences. When we consciously engage with the spiritual reality inside our being, we transcend the addiction to screens and reclaim our ability to be connected to the divine. We start connecting with others on a soul level and discover the profound beauty of this natural world. Technology can certainly complement our human journey, but it is not here to overshadow the authentic, unfiltered, raw human experience that nourishes our growth, creativity, and spiritual connection. By setting screen boundaries and embracing a daily meditation practice, we can create space for deeper awareness, allowing us to live fully and harmoniously in a world increasingly dominated by digital distractions. Ignorance arises from the false identification of the self with the body, mind, and other limitations. When this false identity falls away, only the self remains. Ramana Maharishi. So, even the scientists on this planet have ran out of ideas and have ran out of direction. And now they're bringing spirituality back in because they have no answers. Isn't that amazing? So you look at it this way, or choose to. We create a virtual reality, a universe that is so many layers, generated by an unlimited source of power. Okay? And we experience. Now, the interesting thing is that we do not know that we created this. We always look to the outside. You ever notice that? We always look to the outside. We always say, something created this. Why is that? It's because we do not know who and what we are. For if we did, or when we do, this will not be a mystery. And you can realize the technology, how it's moved in, right? Do any of us even remember before we had any of that? Where we had, tube televisions where, with tubes and transistors, or we didn't even have television. What did we do? What did we do when we didn't have smartphones, calculators, clocks, all these things that we become so dependent on, computers? Now, one would say, well, it's social advancement. It's our experience of, moving and advancing and expanding. You drive down on a Friday night, Saturday night, down a main street, decent-sized town. And, of course, there's restaurants, right? And you look at the tables You're just viewing, mind you, not judging. You're looking at the tables, and you see all these, and it's, you know, it's intimate lighting. It's not real bright. And you see men and women sitting at the table, not even communicating with each other, totally absorbed into their phone screens. And their faces are lit up. Now picture that. Watch it just for a moment. See? And then when you take children who reach, like, you know, 9, 10, 11, 12, and they have those technologies that use, and they begin to copy the older ones. You see how it collects, how it influences? When you didn't have a smartphone, what did you do? So you didn't have a cell phone, is what I mean. And what did you do? You would leave the house, and you would have an answering machine, or maybe. And you weren't concerned about nobody, you know, oh, I'm going to miss a call or something. You would go about your day, and then you would get home, and you'd play the answering machine, and you'd, you know, go through some of the messages and, you know, pick some that you wanted to return the call and others not. When the phone would ring in the home, you had, before caller ID, you would have no idea who it was. Not in a million years. It was quite adventuresome, and for some people, quite scary. So you would pick the phone up, and you would say, hello, this is Bill Johnson speaking. So, you know, I used to train people on phone etiquette because it wasn't too prevalent years ago. And how to leave how to leave answering machine messages. And you know how people leave a message even on the cell phone, and they say, I'm not here right now, please leave a... Well, of course you're not there. That's why I got your voicemail. You say, you know, this is Susie Johnson. Please leave a message and I will be back to you. It's pretty much that's it. But as you see things evolve, supposedly, and as we're being pulled further and further and further away from our organic humanity, do you see it? It's everywhere. I'm not saying that it's a doom and gloom scenario. I'm saying that it is imperative that we as a species embrace our manualism, that we do things for ourselves. You know, you might carry wood or chop wood, or you might lift something or do something or fix something, but you're doing it manually, and you comprehend the fact that these technologies, you're deeply grateful for them, but you also know they're just there to assist. They aren't there to control you. It's very important that this civilization comprehends that these technologies are not here to control us. We are there to overwatch them, utilize them in certain avenues to assist us, period. And there is you know, something else, you know, a lot of AIs going on behind the scenes out there. But you maintain clarity that you are the God in the body, pure consciousness, omnipotently supreme, powerful being that never dies, and that you can manifest anything you truly desire. This is why you'll see some people on overload. They'll just shoot off somewhere out in nature, stay in a little cabin or something, and not have all that. Decompress from the electronics and all the stuff that we have come so dependent upon. I mean, I've seen people that lost it because their internet went down. I'm not kidding you. Absolutely go just ballistic, freaking out. because there's no internet. It's wild. So we created a virtual world, this universe, as a collective consciousness. It's a synthetic, but it affords us gods to experience. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Now, the conundrum is that the majority of many species throughout the universes don't know who and what they are. So you have this kind of like a illusionary separation where, the scientists are saying we're in a holographic universe. How do we know? Because since we have not discovered who and what we are to any depth, how do we know that all of it hasn't been created as a holographic, a liquid, a reverse field, a gas? How do we know that all of these connecting universes haven't all been created in a synthesism, so that all gods, all pure consciousness can experience in many different ways, endlessly? Because the collective consciousness creates universes. And what are we a part of? Collective consciousness. Collective consciousness goes beyond consciousness. And then it goes beyond that which is beyond consciousness. It's never ending. So how would we ever get bored? We wouldn't. Isn't it absolutely magna glorious that when you look at something, or you're out in nature, or you are outdoors, or you're looking through your window and you see things, and you're not in a hurry, and you're not preoccupied with yesterday and tomorrow, and you're in silence, and you're looking at how amazing, spectacular everything is. Because we all had a role in creating it, and we continually create it. It's phenomenal. This is why when you look at everything outside of you, right, that it is you. Now, you don't rely on your mind to comprehend this, because it won't, because it's too small of a vessel. But the God that you are easily will within that body. So your quiet time of this meditation, realize that you and every one of us is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Joining the meditation, I'll return to close this out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain relaxed into your body, very still, focused on your breath rising and falling. Become more rooted and grounded. Focus on the very center of your body and mind. Now imagine roots of light shooting deep into the center of the earth and spreading out in every possible direction. Rest in this calm, rooted energy, connecting with the entire earth for a few minutes or hours. From this grounded space, you will effortlessly manifest anything your heart desires. The infinite power to manifest your dream is ready for you to create that brilliant thing you wanted right now. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. And we will return here Sunday, November 24, 2024, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on out there or within you. Open your heart. Allow the magic to flow in.